For nearly 2 decades, a dragon rider known as Telishi the Sentinel has stood as a beacon of hope in a world plagued by darkness. Her name spoken in hushed reverence by many in the Empire, where the dragon god is worshipped as the divine protector of the realm. For years, she has served as the Empire's shield against the relentless onslaughts of chimeras, an ever-present spectre of political turmoil. The story of this legendary dragon rider is interwoven with the destinies of 3 other riders, each a pupil of the legendary Sentinel herself. Caducia Mercurial Dance is a proud daughter of a ruling family in a small remote province. She is known for her quick wit and fluid grace. She possesses a natural charm and charisma that endears her to all who meet her, making her an invaluable asset in diplomatic negotiations and delicate situations. Her compassion and empathy are matched only by her unwavering dedication to her kingdom and its people. Violet the Affable embodies compassion and creativity in her mission to protect humanity. True to her moniker, Violet is known for her affable nature and boundless creativity. She possesses a gentle spirit and a talent for finding beauty in even the darkest of circumstances. Her empathy and compassion are her greatest strengths, guiding her actions and inspiring those around her to believe in the power of kindness and solidarity. General Hazaron Riel is a military man of uncompromising principles. Driven by his sense of duty, honor, and faith, he is unflinching in the face of adversity, with a pragmatic mindset that allows him to make tough decisions when necessary. While his demeanor may be stern and his methods might be ruthless at times, his ultimate goal is to serve the Empire and uphold the values he holds dear, guided by his unwavering belief in the Dragon God and its divine will. Our adventure commences when 3 messages are delivered in 3 corners of the Empire, drawing Caducia, Hazaron, and Violet to the heart of the Empire's capital. What lies hidden within the hallowed halls of Isida? What dark truths await those who dare to uncover the mystery of a legendary diet? Welcome to the Sentinel's Secret, where the sins of the past cast long shadows over the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Each of you is a dragon rider in a very different part of the Empire. Empire, as you know, is as vast as Aslaug's wisdom. And each of you is undertaking a quest with their own wing in a very different part of the universe. None of you know each other. However, the events unfold, which will bring you together in the very heart of the Empire, as the secrets of Veseda will be revealing themselves to you. On one morning, each of you receive a message, a letter, a very, very important letter. This letter is brought in a special canister that was inscribed with the seal of the main temple itself, the voice of Aslaug. The high priestess has personally granted this, sealed this container. What would you like to do with this message?
Well, I definitely would like to read it, but even to break the seal makes my hands a little shaky because I'm excited to know what's inside, but also this is not just any seal. This must be something special. So I'm going to break the seal and read.
Mm-hmm. Your heart is pounding when you do it, and as you open it, you feel exhilaration. General Hazaron, what would you like to do with your message? You guys are not in the same room, but you all open it at the same time, or not. So, are you opening it?
Another order, and I just break it and put the letter out. Yeah.
All right. So you unroll the parchment. Caducia, what about you?
While I received the message, I was meditating, and I felt a slight disturbance that something is coming, maybe. And when I touched the seal, I had this feeling that something is going to change. So I didn't wait, and I opened it, very curious, but also a little bit intimidated by the importance of it.
you immediately feel a surge of exhilaration reading the last words on the bottom. And the words are, "Thus spoke Aslaug." This particular phrase can only be used in the most important in dire moments, and no dragon rider can ever ignore it. It means that the high priestess believes that this is that whatever the message was, it comes straight from God himself. Now, so just reading that, you realize that the temple, first of all, must have used magic to send this message, as the message reached you over weeks of regular travel. So they must have used magic for that. At the same time, you realize that no ordinary acolyte or even a high-ranking official can't have written it, which means that it might have been written by the voice of Aslaug herself. So you proceed to read the message, and it is incredibly brief. It says, "You are required to attend the high priestess at the first possible occasion in her temple in Vesida." And that is all. There is nothing else. There is no red tape. There is no there are no formalities that can't have been written by an acolyte. So you feel that this is something very special as you roll the parchment back. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm not waiting anymore. I want to go to see my dragon, of course, Aurora Seraphine, and share with her this important news that we will be leaving our home and visiting Veseda to perform this mission, whatever it may be.
Aurora, your friend, has felt your anxiety and is very curious to what is going on. Your bond with her has grown immensely over the last few years, ever since you started riding her. And in just a very quick moment, just a glance was necessary for her to understand the immediacy of the situation. Violet, Hazaran?
Yes, well, when I read those words, "Thus spoke Aslaug," that was enough for me to almost bend my knee. Like, I bent my head, and this is something that I almost hear inside my head. Is this really a voice of Aslaug? I was taught to obey because this is the dragon god, right? And what I read inside might mean trouble or nobility. And I wonder which of these two it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it's not trouble, but it's more likely. So I'm a little scared, but only a little bit for this moment. And of course, I feel respect. And this is not a discussable topic. If I'm going to go there, I am going to be there. That's obvious for me.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. General Hazaran, how do you react to this message?
As a man of faith, I'm just looking at the swords and then grab my bag, shut the door behind me, run down the stairs to the shield maiden, to my dragon, and then whisper, "Something important might have happened. We are called to Veseda."
Unfortunately, none of your wings is able to join you. All of them are involved in immensely important quests, either of political nature or dealing with Chimera. Your wing, it will become much weaker when you leave, but unfortunately, the leave is what you must do. So each of you individually begins a journey towards Veseda. Your journey takes days, but by amazing coincidence, or is it a coincidence, you all arrive on the very same day in the wonderful capital of the empire. Veseda welcomes you with shouts and something of a disturbance. You have been here before, and you have never seen so many military men in the streets. You can also see catapults raised around it, as if it was getting ready for defense, perhaps. Something is going on. And as you take a swing around the city before going towards the main temple, you realize that some important event might have taken place, might have recently taken place, perhaps a rebellion. But you decide it can't have been a rebellion. You would have heard of it. And besides, the provinces just around Veseda are all closely controlled by the orders, by the White Order, the Golden Order, the Grey Order. They are all very carefully cultivated. Rebellion so close to the capital seems implausible. So it can't have been a rebellion, you decide. So whatever it was, it must have happened recently. As you see, defenses are being erected as you fly over them. So you are not the only dragon riders over the sky. You see about perhaps 10 or 12 other dragons and their riders around. In this group, Violet, Caducia, and Hazeron are all present. You do not recognize each other from afar. You're just part of this traffic over the capital city. Is there anything you would like to do before going towards the main temple?
I think I would like to observe for a moment, because my anxiety rises when I see the disturbance that you just mentioned around the city. It's not natural, and it could have been something that happened just a few days ago, but it also could have been a consequence of something that happened a long time ago, and we see that right now. So I want to observe. I know that I'm not going to go unnoticed, but I want to look around.
So just a general glance, right? Okay.
Speaking of a general, I would like to visit an outpost to find any friends that I can ask around what's happening.
Fantastic. Who would you like to visit, my friend? Just the rank and file, or maybe generals, like important people?
I think I would go straight to my successor, because when I became a dragon rider, I stopped being a general per se commanding the army. So I would like to visit someone who succeeded me.
Sure, fantastic. So let's take a look. I'm going to roll for your history check, because it's part of the etiquette, and it will help you figure out who might be the person, who might be the best person to figure this out. And for you, that's quite a good roll. 5d6 plus 1, 8. Can I do the roll?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. So let's take a look. No success, 2 ones. So if you want to push it, that's a bit risky for your vigor. You're not sure. You would generally go to the top of the red tower, where where you received your nomination, and where some admirals and generals might be around, and just ask around there.
Maybe it was empty, so I couldn't find anyone.
It might be. So do you want to push this roll and figure out where?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
I'm not pushing.
So do you want to go there, or would you decide to go someplace else in Veseda?
If not an army, it would be the faith. So I go straight to the priestess. Probably, maybe she will tell me to wait for the meeting, but I'm a straight, simple man. Go straight to the point.
All right. So going straight to the temple. So you are the first person to be greeted by our purple attendants. So as you guys can see, your purple attendants are all very excited and all ready. The tower that is prepared for visitors of the high priestess herself has already been prepared with you in mind. So There is a platform outside of the tower with 3 nests, and each of these nests is made to accommodate your particular type of dragon. So as you were the first to arrive, and you see that your shield maiden has immediately chosen the type of nest she would be most comfortable with. You see one other nest that is kind of made out of more natural green elements, and one which is actually built with a little bit of rock and stone and so, and it's kind of they actually erected a little bit of a little bit of a portal for a dragon to fly into it. So it seems very formal, so to speak. And yours is very military style, and it's the kind that you would recognize in a bivouac in a military campaign. So it was very nice for you to see which is just another way to see that your visit is quite important. That the message seems quite important, and the reception also seems very, very important. Now we're going to cut from Hazeron and go to Caducia. You and your Aurora are also soaring over the city. Aurora is an exceptionally beautiful dragon with her butterfly-like wings, and she actually draws a little bit of attention from the people below. What would you like to do?
I would like to look at the people, but I would like to sense the feeling in the crowd. Like, I would look at the children if they are scared, if there are some elders, or maybe they were hidden somewhere because they are preparing for the attack. I am looking if someone has maybe been injured. Maybe there are some people with new injuries.
Has a battle taken place?
Yes.
Of course, if there are injuries, the battle might have taken place recently. True.
And I am looking for the animal, because animal sense the danger, and if there are any cats or rats on the street that are usually found in cities. If there are not, then something is going to happen, definitely.
Well, cats and taking a look at something so small requires you to get off your dragon and actually get down into the street. So before we tested that, I'm going to test your general outlook of while you're flying.
Okay.
So since you've given me a very particular things which you're going for, I'm not going to test your perceptivity. Instead, I'm going to test your insight, which actually is a very maxed out skill you have. So that's going to be 6d6 plus 1d8. All right, so here's a 6 and a 1, and let's roll. And no success. You only become more frustrated with this elusive feeling you get of that something's going on, but you can't say what it is. People don't exactly seem typical, like normal, not the way you remember them. Would you like to push this roll? There's 1-1.
Yes, I would like to. I am trying to message my dragon to dive into the crowd. She can retract her talons, so she's doing that. So she's only touching people with her delicate paws, and they can smell her and feel her beautiful form.
We're still pushing we're still pushing the first roll. So like you feel.
I'm just imagining how it would be for me, like to push it. Why? I had this possibility to see something more.
It's a psychological thing. So you're putting more effort into this, and if it doesn't work, you're going to lose vigor points. So you're going to lose your self-confidence because you feel like, oh, okay, despite me being really into it, I didn't see or feel anything.
Okay, I get it.
So with this psychological shift, we take a push roll, and we get 1 success and 1-1, which means that in total you lose 2 vigor points. But with the success, I'm going to tell you that people do seem a little bit on edge, and they seem on edge looking at your dragon. I mean, normally your dragon inspires much more awe and all kinds of feeling of reverence because it's so pretty. So not every dragon does, but because it is so particular in its outlook, it's very recognizable, and you could actually hear somebody shouting out, "It's Aurora and Caducea," and it was not the kind of approach you felt. Like you flew past these people and was unable to land and ask them out, but you felt that you particularly were the source of anxiety for whatever reason. All right. So Caducea, we have had this, chance to take a look from Caducea, Violet, and Hazeron. Caducea and Violet, would you like to continue your early investigation before going and keep the the voice of Aslaug waiting, or would you like to go to the tower? Feel a little bit anxious
Well,
about this.
under no circumstances would I like to keep the Aslaug voice waiting, but I just imagined maybe I was witnessing what Aurora and Caducea were doing, and the people paid attention to them. And I just thought that it might be a good idea to also communicate with my dragoness, with Ventia, because she has a very special power
Mhm.
to have a vision of the past, a glance of what could have happened here before we arrived. So I might just do that.
Sure.
I would like to communicate with Ventia and try to use this power.
Okay, well, Ventia reacts by saying, "Violet, you know I must touch things. I can't just feel the air, can I?"
I know. Sorry about that. I was just hoping that you might catch a glance of something.
I
that
wouldn't
happened
mind
here.
catching a glance of some meat, if you don't mind. We have been flying for a while now.
You must be hungry. We must take care of that. You're right. And I have this soothing note in my voice that she knows. And I know that she becomes more and more angry when she's hungry. Not only humans have that. So, yeah, I have to feed my dragon soon.
You might, and you actually see the spikes with venom sacs on her, just filling up with venom as she gets. She's a predator. She's a predator at heart. As much as she loves you and saving humanity. All right, so Violet, with this, I suppose you are flying towards the tower.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Caducea?
I don't want to stress people underneath me, so I will be leaving because their reaction really, really stressed me out. It is not something that I'm used to, and I would like to find out more about this situation, but not on my own.
Mhm.
I will ask for more explanation when I arrive
Mhm.
at my destination.
That's right. So you go towards the tower of the guests, and you see the platform has 3 nests erected. One of the nests is already taken by a dragon, by a very large dragon female, who seems to ignore you completely and gnaws at a bone of a huge of a huge stag that she was apparently given by the by the purple acolytes. So you land on platforms, and immediately your dragons are drawn towards the nests prepared for them. Ventia is very happy to be in a natural sort of an environment with branches and leaves and things like that, and while Caducea gracefully, like a cat, sits down on a pedestal erected for her. You see among purple attendants there is already another dragon rider, and you already have an inkling who that might be. He's a little bit older than most dragon riders, with gray here and there in his beard, and also dressed up in a very military style. This must be General Hazaron. Hazaron, you see as the two dragon riders dismount their steeds and go towards you. One of them is must obviously be the beautiful Caducia, the ward of the white, the ward of the white order, the famous negotiator, and also like you, a pupil of famous Talisi. And the third must obviously be the artist, Violet the Affable, the sweet, the sweet, gentle, and powerful dragon rider who, like you and Caducia, have been a pupil of Talisi. Suddenly, everything seems a little bit more clear. Could this be the reason you're here? Now, there are purple attendants around you. General Hazaron has already been discussing some things with them, probably diet of his dragon. So, my dear players, you may react to each other or interact with the purple attendants or interact with your dragons. The floor is yours.
So I take a look at those two dragon riders who obviously are here for a very similar reason that I am. I suppose so. And there is this glance of recognition, and I just bow my head in greetings. I do not want to disturb, especially not General, who is probably discussing something important, but I want them to see that I'm there, and I want to greet them, and I want to have a little chat before we go any further, because I think we will have a lot of things to discuss.
Yes, I also want to greet both of the pupils of my mentor, because I heard some stories about them, and of course I'm very curious. But also, since so important riders were called for help, then the adventure in front of us may be more dangerous than I thought at the beginning. So I am approaching them also.
I'm towering over the attendants, so when I see the Violet and Caducia like greeting me, I immediately launch myself towards them, open arms, like finally someone respectful to talk to. What might have happened?
When I hear that question, because you say it aloud, you don't only wonder, you say it aloud. So,
yeah, I'm like,
So I just look at you and I said, it's so good to see you both. I don't think, but wonder if we are here for the same reason, if it's because of her. And I know that they know who am I talking about. Have you received the letters too? You're Caducia, aren't you? I've heard a lot about you. It's so good to finally see you in person. And General, it's an honor.
I'm honored also to meet both of you. And I am afraid that something bad might have happened to our mentor.
I should add, you are surrounded by purple attendants, by the purple acolytes, so you don't feel the conversation is very free. You are used to purple. Well, Violet is a word of the purple order, so she knows them very well. But every dragon rider is used to purple. Well, eavesdropping a little bit too much. So this needs to be mentioned, as this is not a completely private conversation yet.
I think it was also natural that I lowered my voice a little. And as I know, because I've been a part of this order, I know that they hear everything but speak nothing. I mean, they speak between themselves, so there will be gossips.
Or do they?
But probably, of course they do. I mean, maybe you don't speak about it aloud, but everybody knows that. And it's like probably they know more than we do at this moment. And I would also like to see if I can see any familiar faces or new faces in the order. Maybe I've known somebody for a longer time and I can also talk to this person.
Well, unfortunately, no. Purple Order is very, very large, and we didn't discuss this, but I wouldn't assume you were a Purple Order from Visida. I would assume perhaps you were from somewhere else. When Telesi invited you on a journey, so none of these people seem you don't seem to recognize any of them. The picture shows five figures. As you see, 3 older men and 3 younger women. The older men are priests, the younger women are acolytes, and you know that especially in these kind of very institutionalized places, there would be higher and lower level attendants to every dragon rider. So the higher level would be would help you with any needs you may have of the higher nature, as if you need some equipment, or if you need to organize a meeting with someone. So there would be sort of your PAs, like somebody who can get things done. While the lower level acolytes, they would be the people who would bring you food and dress you, and also bring food to your dragons, and they would be with you all the time unless you explicitly ask them to leave. So Cora, Suri, and Kali are your acolyte attendants, and Raimi, Sylvester, and Ismail are your higher level attendants. So you can, as you started conversation, they immediately withdrew and they wouldn't speak until you finished. But they obviously probably have things to talk to you about.
I think we shouldn't waste any more time, because as soon as we find out what's the real reason, we can make any further decisions, and let's not waste time.
So as there seems to be an air of decision, and you guys are not enthralled in conversation, Ismail, one of the priests, decides to approach you and says, "The Holy Diet, I would like to introduce a gray acolyte who is waiting out the door. He is asking permission to come. He has been waiting for a day now, and if you allow him to enter, he has a message he would like to convey. Shall I tell him to go, or would you like to talk to him?"
Of course, let him in. I hope you don't mind.
Ismail says, "It is at your pleasure. If you wish me to tell the gray acolyte to leave, I will do it."
Maybe you're right, Caducia, but this message might be also important. He has something for us, so let's check it out. Okay, so
Right.
Please bring him in.
All right. So the door opens, and a ebony-skinned acolyte comes in with bald head and gray robes. He seemed to be of a similar ethnic background as Violet. Perhaps he's from a similar part of the empire. He comes in with a smile and inquisitive look. There seems to be a certain level of intelligence in his look. He seems a little bit old to be an acolyte, but the gray, they have their own ways. He bows and says, My dragon riders, I am Lynx, a grey acolyte sent to liaise with you. It is a tradition for Grey Order to send a liaison to visitors of the High Chapel. I am at your disposal. It is for me to bring you wisdom and teach whatever you need. If there is something you would like to know, I am here to provide these messages. If there is something I do not know, I will find a way to find out. Think of me as extension of your curiosity. This is my mission, and this will be my greatest desire to fulfill.
Thank you. I think that we need to know as much as possible. We just arrived, and it would be so good if you would just introduce us to the situation, because we look around, we started to talking to each other, but we are a little bit lost, and we would like to know more about the city situation. Why are we here? What do you know? Can you share your wisdom?
The voice of Aslaug, in her wisdom, did not decide to share her reasons for inviting you here, Violet the Affable. I do not know what was the reason of your of your invitation.
I think that's understandable. It would be too easy. But could you tell us what to do to make things go smoothly now? We received the message. We want to meet the expectations as soon as possible. We are supposed to meet the high priestess. And do you have any advice before we do that? I know that you are perceptive, and maybe you can give us some advice before we face her in person.
The wisdom I can impart is that your invitation seems to be a little bit not typical. The high priestess herself has decided to send a message and asked the most expedient way to contact you. Therefore, and also, as far as I know, you will be invited in her chamber of private prayer, not in the main hall. For this reason, I expect some important things to be discussed with you privately. I cannot say I know what kind of information might be exchanged, but I do know that there is a feeling of urgency in regards to your conversation with the high priestess. I would expect her representatives to knock on the door any second now, as they have probably witnessed your dragon's arrival. And I imagine they might just be on the steps below us right now, so we might only have a few more seconds of this conversation before they arrive.
Those might be precious seconds. And I say and I take a look at Caducia and Hazeron to take a look at their faces. What do they think about it? And what do they want to say in this situation?
Why were people so surprised to see me? Maybe not surprised, maybe a bit scared, anxious?
Mercurial Dance. Aurora Seraphine is a very unique dragon, and she's very recognizable among the people, not only among the orders. Therefore, your name and would have been exchanged in the streets. I believe that people might have expectations about your coming and perhaps about your person in relation to your mentor. Everyone knows what happened to your mentor a week ago.
Everyone?
In the streets of Veseda, it's a very wildly talked about issue. And I don't know if you are familiar with the events of the Claw Pass that transpired just a few days before. But everyone in Veseda is, and the reason why the city is on alert is because of your teacher. Everyone knows Caducia and Aurora Seraphine are our pupils of the great Telesi. with that, Astelesi is being considered something of a... And at that point, the doors open and priests appear. Priests of golden and black and red and white robes that mix and match all the colors of the orders. The part of the private offices of the high priestess herself coming. They are surrounded by about 10 attendants. They come into the room and go straight beeline towards you, and you see how the violet attendees and also the gray acolyte just move back sort of into the shadow, just retract completely, so that the representatives of the voice of Aslaug can go straight to you. Now you see a tall woman of brown skin in the center that says, "Welcome, Caducia, Hazron, and Violet. You are asked to join the voice of Aslaug immediately. I apologize for not giving you time to freshen up, but the voice of Aslaug personally asked for your attendance."
I just nod my head and look at my companions. Let's go.
They make a room for you to go and whisk you away. Walk out the door, you see Lynx, a gray acolyte, looking towards you with apprehension, perhaps. You're not exactly sure what it was. So you're being led down staircase and then through a number of corridors, not into the main temple, but into the smaller temple, the one that was actually built by Ves himself, the first dragon rider, hundreds of years ago, exactly 320 years ago, as he defeated the first chimeras. He built his first temple right here, and the temple still stands, but it is of course too small for the modern city, so it has been only used by the high priestess herself. And there in the in this building that seems to emanate a very special type of reverence, you are led into a very small chapel, one that would maybe accommodate 100 people maximum. And all the entourage, all of those colorful priests, they are left outside, and the doors are closed shut behind you. You find yourself in the entrance to this main hall, and in the main hall there's an altar. Behind the altar, there's a very old-fashioned statue of Aslaug. Aslaug isn't being represented like this anymore, not so ferocious, like that. Around it, golden and red candles are presented everywhere, and there's a smell in the air that suggests very strong incense that seems to make your head spin a little bit. You see a woman in front of the altar. She's to your back. Her back is turned to you, and she is not wearing a veil, which is amazing, because the high priestess, in all the ceremonies, she always wears a veil. Nobody ever sees her face. You do not see her face either. But just the fact that she might turn towards you at any second is enough to make your head spin. Nobody sees her face. She's about 10 to 15 meters away from you.
Okay, do I feel any kind of...
Oh, but I should mention your dragon stayed behind.
Yeah, so this is like a scene without a dragon,
Yes.
if we use anything. Yeah. So actually, this is a good thing at this point. Because I want to trust my guts. I want to feel if I think that there is something wrong with this person who is turned her back to us. this is not natural, and
Mhm.
I want to check it out. I hesitate for a moment.
Okay.
I'm not very calm right now, especially since my dragon is out there and she's the one that is keeping me grounded. And now I am very impatient and I want something to happen. Like, how long have we got to stay here? And how long will it take for the priestess to talk to us? Will she talk to us? Are we supposed to feel the presence of Oslog or read the message in our mind? How should it happen? What is going to happen now? I'm like very stressed.
So the price of your bond with your dragon is this inner peace, which you have, as you mentioned, have completely lost right now, and just so despite that. In regular interactions, you're a very your countenance is very strict. Like right now, you can feel you're sweating, you're stressed, and you exchange this with Violet. General, how is General approaching this?
I think I'm steady at first, but then I became impatient. I have strong faith in the whole Dragon Riders Oslog thing, but now I'm just a soldier that is in the situation he never thought he could be. So I think the person who speaks is actually Hazaron, like High Priestess, to announce that they have come.
All right, Hazaron, I'm going to test your empathic influence, the inspiration, to see how well you have mastered your anxiety and spoke out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then with no D8 because your dragon is not with you.
I want to be like respectful. It's not like Thor style that I came and knock her in the back, but more like, okay, we hear. What should we do now?
Sure. We got 2 success and no ones. So your voice sounded very confident, and you guys heard the echo in this small chapel go, High Priestess, and her movements stop. And you hear her speak very much not with a voice of a girl, but more of a voice of a, what would you say, an old woman? It's crispy. It's crisp and hoarse. And she says, "Approach me."
I do as commanded.
So do I.
Kadusea and Violet follow behind you, and it's all like, you go first. And as you, none of you felt comfortable enough to approach her at arm's length, but you stood a little bit at a distance. She still doesn't turn her back at you, but when she speaks, the echo and her voice is strong enough that you could feel her whisper as it was a shout. And she says, I remember her. She was here on many occasions. I remember her before this body. I remember her outside of it. I weep for her. Do you know why she did it? Do you know why she became a blasphemer?
My jaw drops at first, but I need to react to those words with respect. I'm overwhelmed by what I just heard, and the first words that come from my mouth is, without thinking, I'm afraid we don't, but I am sure that she couldn't have done it. It must have been a misunderstanding. She must have been framed by someone. It can't be true. And I speak more to Caducia and Hazaron than even to High Priestess, but I'm overwhelmed by this simple question. It's Aslaug's voice. He's never wrong, but at this point, I spoke without thinking.
I mean, there is a caveat here. Like, she can be wrong. Like, she can be wrong. Like, the only thing that in the dogma of this church, right? The only thing that is not wrong is the visions. But in the history of the church, on several occasions, like, it was considered like some decision a mistake by the voice of Aslaug. Only when she uses the phrase "Thus spoke Aslaug" is when we consider this the decision of God. So there is this caveat here. Like, not everything she's not infallible. Not her personally. Only her visions are. Okay, so this is what Violet said. She does not respond. She keeps staring at the altar, still with her back turned to you. The silence is deafening.
Your Highness, maybe she was somehow influenced or manipulated. And I'm thinking about the letter I received from my teacher some time ago. Maybe she met some creature that changed her perception of reality.
She was convicted. A judgment of the seven. Yet she did not accept for her fate. Instead, she slain 7 dragon riders and 7 dragons over the peaks. They reigned with dragon blood, holy blood. By her hand.
I'm speechless, and I want to shout from the top of my lungs that this cannot be truth, but I hear the pain in this noble voice, and I hear that somebody who witnessed it must have been convinced that it actually happened. And this number, seven dragon riders, 7 dragons. This is a bloodbath of a holy blood. And I think I just feel weak on my knees. I want to fall down on my knees when I hear that. This is horrific.
Elise
It couldn't have happened.
met 7 dyads over the peaks of Claw Mountains. They met her and judged her as a blasphemer. And then they died. That night, I had a vision. I had a vision of you. You, General Kazaran. You, Caducia, the Mercurial Dance. And you, Violet, the Affable. I saw you with her. all of you. And I realized this is what must happen. For when I saw you, I saw her death. Telesi is perhaps the most powerful dragon rider alive. No other dragon rider faced 7 others and lived before. Yet in my vision, yet in the vision sent by God, I saw her dead, and you were present. Thus, by my decree, no dragon rider was to challenge her. No dragon rider was to seek her. I called you, the 3 of you, and I give you this mission. Find your mentor. See that her fate is sealed.
As shall it be.
Thus spoke Aslog. And at that, doors behind you open, and wind blows in, and you feel like you're transported into another dimension. The priests come in and they usher you outside gently but firmly, and you see that she comes back to this kind of movement that she was that she was involved with as you came in. You never saw her face. When the doors lock behind you, the priests surround you with a circle and all bow. Now, what would you like to do?
Well, I feel like my heart shattered to a million pieces. I'm so heartbroken now because I know that my mission is to hurt my mentor, and I love her so dearly. And also, I cannot imagine how could she be the killer? How is it possible? And yet I know it has to be truth, since this is the vision. I cannot speak because I am afraid that my voice would break and I would start crying.
You see some purple attendants that seem to be here for your, if you need them, for example, to be taken to your quarters. The tower that where you landed is your quarter, and you can use it as long as you want to, obviously. So if you want to go there, they will take you to your rooms.
I don't want to distance from the other dragon riders.
No, your quarters are common, all 3 of you in the same place. The tower this particular tower was made exactly for you right now because you're the visitors of the temple.
Okay, so in the opposition, I see that Caducia cannot speak, and I feel stronger because now I feel that my other mission, is to prove that she couldn't have done that. And I remember the letter, and I remember what she said, and I just look and say, General, do you think that she really could have done that? We need to go to our quarters and have a discussion, a solid discussion. We need to decide what to do.
I look around for the violet cloaks, and we must not speak of it now. we don't want to be called the same as she. But I bend forward and say, this could be one order I will have trouble to follow. So I will help you.
So as you exchange this conversation, you find yourself kind of sort of walking towards your tower, away from the temple and away from this kind of feeling of being watched by the high priestess attendants, and your purple acolytes, they follow you, the free girls that are supposed to be here at your every command. When you get close to the tower, you also see Lynx, the gray acolyte. He's also there, and he bends his head, and he, just by his posture, you know that he's presenting himself to you if you need him, and you know that he will be here outside of your door until he collapses, perhaps. You're not sure exactly how that works, but he will be at a second notice as if you want him to visit you. So you find yourself in your private quarters. They are obviously very comfortable, and they are also decorated in such a way to relate to your traditions and customs. Your dragons have already been fed, and you see that they are all sleeping after a very long flight that you had to take with them. You're also very tired. The flight was a huge strain on your stamina as well. But obviously, the mission you were just given by the voice of Aslaug makes you feel immensely agitated. So there is a space here to talk. If you want your characters to rest, you can of course do that. If you do want to talk about the situation you find yourself in, I would like to tell you that there's a mechanical element that we're going to introduce. The topic of our lesson is past modal verbs, and you have already seen a couple of past modal verb sentences, and here are some of those examples that I highlighted. And as you see here, past modal verbs are those might have done, can't have done, or must have done, which are very useful to talk about what you exactly want to talk about right now, which is speculating about the past, what might have happened with Talisi, what can't have happened with Talisi, and what must have happened with Talisi. Now, because this particular moment in your story is the sort of investigation moment, so what the skills that you guys need for investigation are obviously insight and deduction, right? Remember, you can test deduction. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. You can just tell me like, oh, what does deduction of my character say? So I'm going to give you a pool, like your common pool for this, for every time from now on that you guys use one of those structures. Every time you use might have done, can't have done, should, must have done, I'm going to mark a +1 on your investigation pool. And you guys can draw from this pool every time you want to deduce, like, okay, I want to roll for deduction on this, can I use pool? Or insight. So it's like, okay, I want to look at this, it's like, what do I see logically? Remember, insight is different from perceptivity, right? So you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to build up this pool, from this moment on, we're building up this pool, and you can use it later on. So guys, you are in your quarters, right? And what do you want to do?
Yeah, I start walking very impatiently, and adrenaline is just, I can feel it in my veins, and I just turn to face Caduceus and Hazeron by saying, she must have seen it coming when she sent us those letters. I mean, you got the letters too, right? And I think it's a perfect time to share what was in them. Maybe not in the whole, but the most important things. It might help her. Like in my letter, it was obvious that she gave me an information that somebody might have been after her, that somebody might be trying to do something wrong and cross her paths in the way that she wouldn't like it to happen. we all know that dragons have different powers, also powers of illusion, hypnotizing. Maybe somebody did this huge thing and hypnotized the witnesses, and it actually might have never happened. But like, I have hundreds of thoughts in my head now. What do you think about it?
Well, Violet, it breaks my heart, but I think that it might have actually happened. Because she wrote to me that she met a chimera that had the ability to influence someone's mind. And she might have been influenced by it. She already killed her friend who became her who attacked her, and she wrote to me about it. So maybe he might have been innocent as well.
If she is innocent, then we must prove it.
I'm not sure that she is.
But somebody is behind it, and we all agree to that. That even if she has been framed by someone, then somebody must have done it for a reason.
Well,
to put her in that light.
She was fighting this chimera, and she wrote to me that she was the one who noticed its powers, but unfortunately it ran away. But it might have been the other way around. Like, she was the one influenced by it, and the Falangar, the rider she killed, was the one who tried to stop her. And then, with mind already infected by Chimera's power, she fought with the 7 riders.
But if she was influenced by the Chimera, she is innocent. It wasn't her. So.
Well, it wasn't her per se, but still, the blood can be on her hands. And if she realizes it, we all know her, right? We were her only disciples, I think. And like, she chose us for a reason. I never knew exactly what did I do to deserve it in a good sense. But now we need to help her before we actually announce her that she's sentenced to death. And we need to find what the truth is. And this is most important.
Sorry. She might have given us clues in those letters. In my letter, it was only said that I am part of some shadow spy game and someone would try to influence my actions.
You see, so this is something that we had in common in our letters, that somebody is trying to play a mind game, and we need to figure out who and why. Okay, like, do you have any idea why maybe this number of 7 dragons and 7 riders might be a coincidence, but maybe there is something more behind it? Like maybe exactly this number of dragon riders and dragons must have died to achieve something. I don't know, just speculating.
I should mention that there's an institution of judgment from dragon riders to dragon riders. There are no other courts that dragon riders are under. The only court is the court of 7 dragon riders. Any 7 dragon riders can get together to deal with a blasphemer, with someone who is doing a bad thing, and you know, This is the only thing that can happen, and this is what the high priestess was mentioning, that 7 dragon riders met her a few days ago, like probably just around the time you got the message. I mean, it had to be before, obviously. And then there was fight. Then she died. So it's assumed that they judged her and fought her for that reason. So there, 7 riders is a court, so to speak. Any 7 riders is a court.
But we don't know what she was judged for, except being a blasphemer. But also, something we can start with is, were they part of one wing or couple wings? Maybe it was one group that faced the Chimera and was influenced. We and Hazeron, like, we should assume that she's innocent, but also assume that we are being used to get rid of her.
Yeah, that might be a good starting point. But also, and this is something that comes to my mind right now, is that our letters, they were sent probably in a very different time, not at the same time. And this thing has been going on for a while. We can see the pattern here, and it's good to use it. As General said, we might assume that she could have been innocent, but also that we might be, I don't want to say it, but just puppets and just one point at this way she decided to use. So this is something we need to think about too.
At that time, when the Violet speaks of that, Hazeron reaches behind his armor to take from the pocket of his heart, take the letter. It's like crumbled together. You can see the drops of ink that were smudged, maybe from tears, maybe from reading in the rain. You don't know. You see a general, but she always dated her letters. What years are on yours? Mine is 315.
It's 320 year ago.
Let me check mine. And I also, because I also cherish I used to cherish and still do every letter and word from my mentor, because it was precious, and it wasn't that that often that she would send me a letter, but it is 319.
So the game was long.
Did she mention the Chimera in your letters? Or some people that were influenced by something, or some betrayals?
Yeah, not very directly, but yes.
For me, it was only the orders that are part of politics and betrayals.
And the name of the first one influenced by Chimera, the Falangar, did he appear in your letters?
Maybe we heard about him, maybe the history, or...
Sure, you can test history, absolutely. So that's Hazeron. Your
5d6.
Your history. You're not with your dragon right now, so we're not going to use the plus 1d8. So 5d6, right? Shall I roll?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So we've got no success, 1-1. So you can't think of anyone by that name. Violet, Caducia, would you like to test history as well?
Sure.
Absolutely, yes.
So Violet, that's 7d6 for you. Mhm.
You can roll.
You're a history buff. So somebody's a history buff here. 2 success, 2 ones. So with 2 success, I can tell you something, unless you want to push and get more.
Let's leave it. Let's
Right.
leave it.
So with 2 success, you do remember that there was a song, there was a story of this dragon rider. He was part of her. He was part of her wing, and then they broke away. And for many years, she was alone. And as far as you know, like she was alone and without a wing for a good portion of 5 or 6 years before now. And the reason for that might have been due to her losing wings. She actually lost 3 wings over the course of her long service. She was the only survivor of 3 different wings in the first 1.5 decade of her life as a dragon rider. So he used to be part of her wing, and then they traveled together for a while and journeyed together, quested together, and that is as much as you know. You don't know how he died. You haven't heard that story exactly, but you do know that he was a powerful and old dragon rider. Not like you guys. You guys, none of you have been a dragon rider longer than 5 years. Like, it's generally considered that dragon riders who survive over 10 years are usually very, very powerful, right? And he was one of those. So he would be, equal in power or, similar to her, and experience probably.
Yes, so I
Caducia, would you also like to roll for history, since we're on this?
Not necessarily. I mean, we have quite a lot of information. I mean, I know how he died, so I can share this knowledge with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I also share what I reminded myself. I definitely want to tell you about the story, and also reminding myself part of the letter and partly answering Caducia's question. Was there anybody she mentioned in particular? I remember that she wrote me that what troubles her the most is that someone or something might have been actively working against her, because what she wanted the most was to go into Wes himself footsteps, and she was about to discover something, and it might also be important.
I would like to find out if there are any mentions in the archives, or maybe my friends ever have met anything about the mind influencing chimeras, the ones that can manipulate dragon riders, because it might have been some sort of trickery by our teacher. I don't like to think about it, but it is also the possibility. She planted the idea in our heads that someone has been after her, that she has been framed, then maybe manipulated. Maybe she just wanted to have an excuse to get rid of Falangar?
So what you can do is we can test your knowledge of history, which for you is actually immensely high. It's 9, and due to the fact that you are a ward of the White Order, and also with aristocratic background, so obviously your general knowledge of history is much higher than typical. So you might know something offhand. On top of that, you can visit some libraries in Vesida. However, different orders have different archives, and you're generally it is assumed that dragon riders are the most important people, blah blah blah, but orders have their secrets as well, and it is kind of common knowledge among dragon riders that orders don't share all the secrets, and especially the gray order, right? They're considered something of spies. Well, they're teachers and also spies, and also they deal with magic, so they are this incredibly secretive group. Purple, they have much more information about dragon riders than anybody, but they don't have an archive, they don't have a library, they don't share anything. The white ones, they have immense knowledge about governments, about kingdoms, about pretty much everybody, and quite a lot of that. And like, as much the extent that is huge, but it's only a morsel of what is actually out there to learn about the whites knowledge.
But I think that we can safely assume that once I received this letter, it was interesting enough for me to check more about this chimera that fled, and it seemed like a really dangerous creature. So I think I would check that earlier in the archives.
Perhaps you can even say you would have checked it. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's right. Fantastic. Okay, I love that. So I'm going to give you a free push on one history roll about this. Okay, so you don't have to pay with your vigor if the push fails. Okay.
Okay.
So let's roll. And out of the 9, we only get 1 6. We also get 2 1s, but we don't care. So now let's push. And now we get 2 6s. So
yes.
On 2 6s, you learn that this type of power is very rare among chimeras. There are the chimeras are different levels, right? There are these killers of men, there are killers of cities, and there are killers of empires. And among the killers of empires, they're pretty much godlike. Like the only 2 or 3 have been cited, really, and it's maybe 2 or 3 have been fought, and maybe 5 or 7 have been cited. It's like among the 5 and 7, like mostly they just appeared, did something, and disappeared, and nobody really knows why, because they're like this really chaotic godlike creatures, and they had these amazing powers that would also include mind control. They would mind control like an entire city. That's the extent of these, the most powerful chimeras. And but the more mundane chimeras, the types that you guys usually deal with, so the killers of men and the killers of cities, that didn't really happen in history as far as you know. Like the chimera that Talisi wrote about would be the first, to your knowledge, of this level that had these kind of powers. So this is what you learn on the topic. And I would mention that your pool is now at 6. So if you would like to test your deduction, you can also do that, and you can get some extra information as like what your character would have deduced on the topic. So I can give you additional information if you want to make these kind of rolls.
Okay, so I also wonder aloud and I say, as she mentioned, she considered Ves, her Patreon, surrounded by lots of mysteries, and she wanted to discover it. And every time she got closer, somebody would ruin it, would stand in her way, not directly, but just, the traces are gone. Whenever she's that close to breakthrough, something happens. And she can't finalize her path. She can't gather the information. So, what kind of secrets might somebody want to hide to make such a crime on such a high level? It must have been something huge, something that reaches back to Ves's times, maybe.
You can make a deduction roll on this if you want to. Is that what you
Yes,
want to do?
of course.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
obviously, these are very, very complicated things. So 1 or 2 success is not going to cut more than very basic things. Your Violet, your deduction is 5d6, and your pool is now at 7. So would you like to drain your pool, or would you like to just take your basic roll?
I think I will use some extras because it's important. So,
How
yeah.
many?
Let's say I'm going to take 2 more.
Sure. All right, so your pool is now at 5, guys. All right, now 1 success, unfortunately. So all you can do some basics is that any history about Ves is immensely valuable because it's part of dogma. Ves is not considered a god, but his dragon Aslaug is the Aslaug, right? The god. So everything related to their history is fascinating, important, and possibly, damaging to all kinds of people. That's all you suss out.
Maybe if she was following Ves's history, we could find out what she was investigating. Maybe the library, the archives, actually.
Yes, that would be a good idea. Also, if we could later get to our dragons, Ventia has this really good talent that might help us to find out what happened in the past. But to that, we must be in certain place and to grab a piece of something that was actually a piece of an object or a person who was participating in the situation in the past, but it might help us. And library is certainly a good start to look for.
Or if it's an option, even better would be the Claw Mountains where the fight took place. Maybe we could see actually the judgment and the accusations. I don't know how this power works exactly, but
Yeah, well, maybe we will not see exactly the whole scene. It would be too much, but we might get a little glimpse of something, and it might give us at least a couple of information. So it would be good to give it a try.
going to the archives could be dangerous. I don't trust the orders based on what we received in the letters. So maybe we should try the battleground first.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. What do you think, Caducia?
I think that that the fact that they just believed that our teacher is the blasphemist, they didn't doubt it. Like, they are not trying to find the reason why it happened. They just want to punish her.
They want us to deliver the message and punish her.
Yes. Then I think that maybe we should try to investigate it a bit at first before we try to find out about it from the
Can you
other.
see? Oh, sorry.
No, from the others. Like maybe Link could help us.
Links.
Links.
Oh, he's definitely waiting for anything
I
you want
did
him for.
him too. Yes, we should talk to him.
Guys, you can also see the map that I prepared. This is the map of the province around Visida. So you would notice that there are two castles and three castles, so to speak, and one city. There's a city of Dunalup, Castle Urdendale, Castle Blarn, and Calniso, the sort of a tower kind of a castle as well. And you know which mountain range is called the Claw Range. So you know where this battle would have taken place. Well, it must have taken place, actually. Baching. So if you want to know which one, I can tell you exactly where it is on the map.
We
Okay?
do.
Can you see the map? All right. So it's close to Castle Blarn. Can you see this? When you see this mountain range, like east of Blarn, that is where the battle must have taken place. Ka-ching. So
Oh, yes, you can see the field, like sort of a field there that is quite empty, and it's a good spot.
there is a field to the north. Very good. Yeah. And you guys know Vesida a little bit and the area around it, and you know that it's like very closely aligned with the orders. Like there are no real aristocratic families that run the place around here, only the monks. And you know that these different castles and different cities around here are in control of different orders. You know that Dunalup is a golden, is a city of the Golden Order. Blarn is the Grey Order. Urdendale is the Red Order, and Kalnesi is it's kind of everybody's. Like all the orders are involved with it in some capacity, but mostly Red Order as well. So all the villages around, right, they will be producing for the castle or the city around. All the local taxes and so on, they would be transferred to the local city or castle, and the appropriate order would have been involved in managing of this area. These mountain ranges are relatively hostile. Like there are not many people living there, so that's something that's worth adding. Like there's quite a lot of lush area around. There are great forests, and the fields are, the Aslaug blessed the fields with great cultivation, and so there are quite a lot of really prosperous settlements around here, but not in the mountains. The mountains would be pretty barren.
Yes, so I think we know where we can start, but before we do, I think we need to ask ourselves a question, a very important, vital question: that are we ready? Are we ready to fight her? Because I don't feel ready. Like, I'm a dragon rider. I should be ready to fight for justice of Aslog and the truth of his words every single time. But now, as you said, Kadusia, before, it also breaks my heart when I think that I will have to fight somebody who was so important to me. I'm not ready to fight her. And not only because she's powerful, because I believe there is something more behind it. And when we go there, when we go to a place that this battle might have taken place or must have taken place, then what to expect there? And are we ready to face her?
Well, we can try to find out more about it before we face her, so maybe it will be easier. I am not sure, but if we are only trying to figure it out, we won't be ready for sure. We have to have all the information we can get. She sent me the letter, the one about the Chimera from Ardendale. So maybe there is something in their archives, or maybe some witnesses that can confirm the story.
Now, at that
There
point,
might
as
be.
Caducia and Violet are exchanging these ideas and feelings, Hazaron turned his back to you for a sec and looked out the window, and he felt as if his entire body tensed, as if some electric current went through it. The question Violet asked in general, but asked him as well, would he be able to fight Talisi, made him realize that he might need to challenge his own fate, and his vigor, his very self-confidence, is strongly based on fate. Now, because this type of question is permitting is a problem for you right now. Your character is at -2 vigor until you find a way to deal with this emotional problem. Faith, or this relationship you have with you have or had, still have, will have, with Talisi. This is a very, very strong point for you, and you feel at a great disadvantage. Now, you guys, Caducia and Violet, you're both very empathic and perceptive, so you notice this a little bit. You're not exactly sure why Hazaron feels this way, but you can suss it out. So now, coming back to your conversation, one of the ideas that circulated around was asking Lynx to come in and asking him questions. This is something that kind of bounces off the walls, and you feel that in the absence of other things, like, this is a very close thing to do. So it's like he's just outside the door pretty much. So you guys can fly off with your dragons somewhere. You guys can go ask for libraries. You can go and so on. But there's just this very quick grab Links and ask him a question kind of a thing, if you want to do it. Just bringing it out there, as it's a very kind of a immediate feeling you all have. Now, switching myself off again.
Yes, absolutely. We should talk to Lynx. Now, when we found out more, and he must have noticed that we were visibly shaken after, even though we were pretending. And I know that this type of person must have noticed that there are some emotions in us, and we might ask him questions. So let's go and see him.
Right, guys? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So Hazaron still looking out the window. Caducia and Violet kind of taking the lead on this. Now, as you open the door, you see one of your purple attendants, Suni. She's waiting. She looks at you and bows and says, "Is there anything you would like?"
Yes, we would like you to invite Lynx.
Of course. She runs downstairs, and in a minute, Lynx comes back. He bows his head and says, "How may I be of assistance to you, Dragon Riders?"
we have some questions and we hoped that you could provide us with answers.
It is my pleasure. Please ask.
What is your awareness of what happened in High Priestess presence when we were there? And we need you to be honest with us right now. We know that you see and hear more than you say, but discretion is a good thing. But now there is something more going on, and we really need you to be honest with us. What do you know about the case?
I was never considered trustworthy enough to be given any information about what you were to talk about with the High Priestess. I am but a low acolyte, but man obviously thinks, and I would only assume it's in relation to the blasphemy that your mentor has taken upon herself to do. So,
As he mentions the blasphemy, Hazeron is unfrozen, still holding the letter. What was the accusation?
oh, I do not know what she was accused of by the Seven, my lord, but I do know that killing a dragon is blasphemy itself. Whatever her transgressions may or may not have been before that fateful day, on that day she has committed 7 murders of dragon riders and 7 murders of dragons, and that, if I may be allowed to say, I do apologize, is the greatest crime anyone has committed for centuries.
So those 7, were they part of the one wing or more? I'm like in the military introduction report situation style.
Of course, as far as I know, they were 2 wings that met in the Castle Blarn, and from the went on to meet Talisi in the peaks of Claw, and I am not exactly sure why or what happened before, but both of those wings have been in Veseda or in the area or in its area for months before. They had been part of the retinue of orders, and they didn't venture outside of the empire's center for a while. So I do not, and as far as I know, Talisi hasn't been seen in this part of the empire for months, for long months, perhaps more than a year. So I would have been surprised if they met her before. But at the same time, this one, I do not know of any reason why Talisi would be found in the central province at all. As far as I know, she was seen in very remote provinces for months and years, even. But of course, this is not this. This is all I know on the topic.
I just grunt and step back to give floor to the.
Caducia and Violet, you actually got the
Yeah.
feeling that Hazaran is going to strike down Lynx and whatever your approach to this might be, but you kind of felt that he might actually murder him.
So I do not want that to happen. When I have this feeling, I want to, well, I'm without the dragon right now, but still, I want to influence Hazaron a little bit, and I just step in his way, but not in an aggressive way, but just want to place a hand on his shoulder, maybe, or give a gentle gesture that just gives a little squeeze and say, hold back and think for a moment. And it's just maybe I even whisper or say with a very low voice, Hazaron, General, you do not want to do that. He only speaks what he knows. And this is the truth he knows. And you have to try to stop thinking that he is any part of it. Let's hear him out. Cool down your emotions.
Now, I would need to remind you that Ventia is taking away your ability to inspire, which means
That's
that
why I said I'm without a dragon. Yeah.
which for unfortunately made you sound a little bit childish and
Yeah, it's like very
and
human.
you kind of feel like Hazaran might be a little bit even more irritated by that, but he seems to be in control. He's like a very kind of super ego kind of guy. Caducia, now you can while this is happening, Caducia, you can see that Lynx is still in this kind of half bow, but he's looking at you and looking around you like very intensely. So you are kind of drawn to ask him more questions. Would you like to?
So, what are the feelings in the city? What do people think about?
The information of this blasphemy has been generally known, and people in Vesida and also in other cities and castles in the area are all fearful. A dragon rider, blasphemer, and such legendary dragon rider as Talisi. Let us not forget, Talisi was a person that people erected shrines to. She has been immensely popular among the people. Her fall from grace is very important for many people. Some people are actually shaken in their belief because of what happened. So as far as I know, some people of my order have been noting civil disobedience around this fact. Talisi has held sway with the common people, so to speak, although she hasn't been in Vesida for a long time, and she was immensely popular here, and now people are anxious and expect anything.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. That when something like that happens, you doubt everything you believed so far. But you've been looking at us very intensely. And is it only because you are awaiting our questions, or are you looking for anything in particular to find inside these quarters?
It is my
or next to Axe.
It is my
and
duty
be honest.
it is my duty to anticipate your needs. If there's anything I can do for you, I should become ready for it. So this was the reason why I was looking at you intensely. I apologize if it made you feel uneasy. It was not my intention.
Your dedication is really touching, so you don't have to apologize. We just are in the middle of something that is really can be a world changing.
How so?
I mean,
in what way?
7 dragon riders just died, and the blood of dragons has been spilled. And it doesn't happen every day. It's huge. And a reason for that might be that there has been some major mystery behind, maybe even, dare I say, Aslak himself.
What kind of mystery, madam?
And I hesitate, but finally I say what's in my mind, that every dragon has his rider, and Aslak had Ves, and Ves had many mysteries that he took with him. And our mentor has been trying to uncover some of them. You know the Grey Order, and you know a little bit about forbidden magic. So you tell us, how can that be connected to the slaughter that just happened?
I do not understand the question, my lady. I wish I could help, but what do you mean? What should be connected to this blasphemy? What do you mean?
Somebody does something so terrible that might be an influence of magic behind it, don't you think?
You consider that perhaps the judgment of the seven was manipulated with magic,
Or our mentor?
or your mentor might have been manipulated with magic.
Yes.
I find this very improbable, but magic is a very powerful force. However, Vesida is the seat of the most powerful grey mages. It is my order's duty to safeguard the Empire from magic, and and I'm sure that our mages would be aware of magic use by magicians. These kind of things, they, well, I am no magician, but as far as I've been taught, these kind of things, they leave marks and they are felt by mages. So I would be very surprised to learn that magic was involved. And as much as it might be, I can't think of any magician powerful enough to control 7 dragon riders. Perhaps one, but as powerful as Talisi and Emberheart. Truly, Emberheart must be one of the most powerful dragons ever ridden. So it seems quite improbable to me. But then I am only an acolyte. If you wish to know more, perhaps you should consult one of the mages in my order. I'm sure they would be happy to talk to you.
I would like to deduce what else might he know. How could he be helpful to us, and what can we ask him about? Because we have our questions. He says that he only knows something. Yes, he is helpful, but maybe there is something specific I could ask him about.
Sure. I should remind you that deduction is the price of your bond with Aurora. So as Aurora is not with you, your deduction dice is only 2d6. You can use pool, of course, but your wing pool that you guys build up using our key grammar today. But your basic roll is just 2 dice.
Am I using any additional dice?
It's up to you. I mean,
Do use it. This is important stuff.
Use it.
Okay.
Use it. Yeah.
sure.
So 1 or
We
2?
have a lot.
Yep. Your pool is now at 7. So how many
Okay.
dice would you like to use from the pool?
2.
2. So your pool is now at 5. I'm rolling 4, and we are at 2 success. So with 2 success, and I would say that you deduce that. Well, first of all, you remind yourself that this kind of this role that he's taking, which is your kind of advisor, is not something that is necessarily done. Not every not every visitor to the temple is given a gray acolyte as an advisor, so to speak, because this is the capacity he came in. Generally, here as much as anywhere. You have the violet, you have the purple acolytes and priests to do whatever you want and to be your advisors and whatever you need. The gray guys, they keep to their themselves, so to speak, right? And so what you see is that you deduce that the fact that he's here is that it's probably connected to some other gray priests or monks that might be involved with your mission here. So perhaps they want to help you, perhaps they want to learn something about you, but it's not as like he's not like purple mages. He's not like purple acolytes. He's a player. That's what you deduce with these two successes, which means that you can use him in a way. You can play with him, or you can shun him out. But he's not just like a servant or anything.
So let's play.
Now, it's very natural for you to figure this out as you're a diplomat, right? And you're also an aristocrat, so you figure these kind of institutional sort of things out very, very quickly. So Violet and Hazaron, you wouldn't necessarily have the same opinion. You might kind of take at face value that it's just, a custom that you guys came in and, a gray guy comes out. So Caducia, if you want to share this, please, Violet and Hazaron, please do not like use this knowledge in your role playing until Caducia shares it. Unless Caducia, you think that they might figure it out themselves. You're muted.
So Lynx, tell me, why exactly are you here?
To serve you.
Yes, but why?
You need me.
Yes, but why?
To fulfill your mission for Aslaug.
How can you be the best of service in this mission for us?
In any way I can. I give my life to you if I need to.
We hope this is the sacrifice that will not be needed, but, and I look at Hazaron and Caducia, but let's be honest. Don't you have this strong feeling that Tennessee must have known that we will end up here? She must have seen it coming.
Why would you say that, madam? I would not have expected this kind of things from the Sentinel. I do not know of any reason why she would expect you to be here. I was there. I was told you were in very different parts of the empire, and perhaps your interaction with Talisi was relatively limited in the last years. This is what I know, but perhaps I am mistaken here. I do not want to assume. It is, of course, a stuff of legends that Talisi, the legendary Talisi, only had 3 pupils, while some Dragon Riders have as much as 20 or 50 over their service. And the only 3 pupils, though, their names are known: the famous Mercurial Dance, the Affable Violet, the General Hazaron. People know of you as much as they know of Talisi, and which is one of the reasons why you also have there's a certain level of anxiety related to you in the streets of Vesida. But why would you say that Talisi would expect you to be here? Would she? If so, I have no knowledge of reasons for that. I can try to find out if you want me to. Do you want me to learn something and come back with it?
Maybe it's Of course, it would be important if you found out about it, but maybe, well, you said just something that is even more important. We are the only known pupils of Talisi.
You are the only pupils of Talisi. This
Yes.
much I know. Any dragon rider who wouldn't be anointed by the church and not known to the orders would be a blasphemer. So obviously you must be the only one, unless you want to say that Talisi made more blasphemies in the past.
Exactly. So you would say that there is not a slightest chance that she might have had another disciples somewhere else that we do not know of, and who's been taking her time, because as you said, we haven't heard from her or seen her for a while. And when she sent us the messages, they were kind of mysterious, and she knew that somebody was up after her. She wouldn't say who, but is there any chance, from what you say now, there is no chance that she had any other pupils anywhere around? Am I right?
Yes, I'm sure. I would never blaspheme to say that something else might have occurred. In relation to the messages you mentioned, my lady, I know nothing about any messages that you exchanged. If you want to, I can try to find out if perhaps there are if there's something related. What was in these messages?
Or maybe are there any messages that haven't reached us and she wanted to send it to us before or in the meantime? That would be also interesting.
Well, it is the White Order that deals with post in the Empire, so I could find out if you want me to.
General Caducia, what do you think about those suspicions? Because there are so many thoughts that my head is just spinning around.
Perhaps I could be more of service if I know more.
Hazaron smiles for this sneaky little snake. It's possible, but it's nothing we can confirm now, so maybe we should go investigate like we planned to.
Would you be in more need of me? Do you need any more assistance from me?
We certainly will.
Yes.
I think we are planning to start with a place that you might be of service to when we go there, but we must discuss a few things before. We will let you know.
Of course, I will be outside of your tower. Shall I go to the White offices and learn of any possible messages that might have been delayed from Lady Telesi, the Sentinel?
Maybe that would be a good idea. What do you think, Katusia? It's about your order, so you will know best.
Lady Caducia, what do you think? Shall I?
Yes, it might be a good idea.
So I shall try to be back as quickly as I can. Thank you. Okay, and he retracts and leaves. Okay, you're alone again.
Can we speak for a moment of character?
Sure.
Or maybe it can be in character. Oh, there is so much information, I am lost. I feel like we are running in circles and he's being so mysterious and he's only giving us half truths and
He's hiding something.
Yes, and he's trying to be so helpful, but I'm not sure if he can be trusted, or maybe he does not know if we could be trusted. Like, there is no honesty in there.
No, I felt some good in him. Like I really felt that he is devoted, or at least he acts as if he is. But we need to make use of him, not in a bad sense, in a sense that he really can be on our
An
service. But
Yes,
how?
he
Shall we
can be
take
an
him?
asset.
Yeah.
Oh, but I feel like we're missing something important, and we're not getting the whole picture. Maybe we should just, try to recap everything that we found out and try to connect all the dots. I think it would be a good idea.
Absolutely. And General, you are a man of army and of strategy. So to be strategic, how would you imagine and even put it maybe on a piece of paper? How would you imagine one very powerful dragon rider and her dragon slay the judgment of seven? It, from the strategic point of view, she acted instinctively, or did she do it just one by one? We need to picture it. It might not be easy, but we need to picture the battlefield. And maybe this will help us too.
My strategic sense is the price for the bond. So it won't be that easy to imagine, but as Hazaron, maybe it wasn't her decision to slay those seven. Maybe she was judged and her dragon just flew over and burned the others. Like they were talking and it wasn't her decision. It is known that dragons sometimes do something against their riders.
You see, that's what I mean. There are so many question marks.
We should investigate the battlefield. I will be able to say more seeing it from the back of my store.
Definitely, we need our
Shield
dragon.
Maiden. Yeah.
Sure. If you guys want to go, you can do it immediately. It is, say, afternoon, and it is about, well, half a day or maybe a little bit more flight from where you guys are. It would mean you guys don't get sleep, and you didn't sleep for a while now, which means that not only your vigor points would not come back, that I would have to actually subtract additional vigor points from you guys. But you guys are dragon riders. You're powerful. You can handle it. So, what's the decision? Would you like to go now?
Okay, let's go.
Let's vote.
All right, Hazarin is definitely involved, and he wants to go. He wants to go now. Violet, Caducia, how do you guys feel?
Let's go now. Let's not waste any more time because we do not know what would happen next.
We can sleep after we die.
So Ventia, Aurora, and Shield Maiden are all aroused when you guys enter their platforms. Like they spread their wings and they feel like it's time to fly, and you can sense that they're happy. They had their meal and they're ready to pounce. So you ask Cora, Suri, and Kali to help you saddle them up, and in a few minutes you are ready to soar, and soar indeed you do as you fly towards the Claw Mountains. You feel the rush of air around you, and all the and all the emotions and this kind of tangled tension that you experienced inside the tower you feel as if it lifts from you. Damn, it's nice to be a dragon rider. So on the way, you guys have a little bit of time to have a telepathic conversation with your dragon. Your dragons, none of your dragons is like initiating. They're all pretty used to service, and the dragons are not as inquisitive as humans in general, like in my interpretation of the world. But if you want to, you can exchange some thoughts with your dragons.
I absolutely do want to do that because my connection with Ventia is like the beloved one. So I want her to know that the state of my heart and my emotions. So I do not hide from her that I'm very shaken, that there is a lot going on. And I just send those short images, and it's not a flood of feelings, but it's just she can feel my being lost and my tension and my pain. And I can even think about this image of 7 dead dragons and 7 dead dragon riders.
Mm-hmm.
And I send it to her.
All right.
I want her to know.
Well, I tested your bond, and your Enventia reacts by saying, Ember Heart is truly a powerful adversary. Is this my fate? To taste his flesh? Exciting.
I know you well, so I know that you will do what must be done. But I do not like it at all, the fact that we need to make this decision. And this is also like I think about it, yes, and she can feel that I admire her being a predator, and she's ready to do whatever it takes. But also, I hope that she will find some inside peace if it's needed at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Sure. All right. Caducia, Hazaron are filled with their own thoughts, right? They're just focusing on the travel, on the journey.
I would like to find out how is Aurora feeling about this whole situation.
Well, she didn't learn what your mission is unless you want to tell her. You don't actually have to.
Of course I want to. I want her to know that we will be facing someone who possibly slain 7 dragons, and the mission is extremely dangerous, and something that happened was so barbaric, so horrible, that I think that lying to her about it, omitting the truth, would be betrayal.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So let's test your bond. Mm-hmm. There we go. All right. So she understands your feelings, and she relates to you these thoughts. Emberheart is perhaps the most powerful dragon that flies over the moon, under the moon. This is truly a magnificent challenge. They call him the Long Vigil. And the Long Vigil he is because he is not only huge and powerful, his muscles are immensely strong, but he also has power of time and the darkness. He hides in darkness. I never fear, Caducia. I don't fear anything, and I will be with you, and I will be protecting what needs protecting. And if the world needs protecting from him, I will protect the world from him. But I do not know if we survive. He is immensely powerful. So that is what the message you got from Aurora. All right, Hazaron, would you like to also share with your dragon what you guys are heading for?
Definitely yes, because we are friends, and as a friend, I say to him,
To her.
to her, that we are going to meet an old friend, old lover, and hopefully it ends well.
All right, let's see how she takes it. All right, she takes it very well. And she says, Hazaran, when you were out with this woman, Telesi, I was there with Embereth. And as much as you felt close to her, I felt close to him. Perhaps you knew, perhaps you did not. It will be great challenge to kill an old lover. But I will if you need me to, and I will if people need him dead. Because this is what's important, is it not? We were put on this plane by Aslaug to protect people. Do not waver, my friend. We love them, but we will kill them if we need to. Right?
And this is the question that remained unanswered.
All right. So with these kind of exchanges, you fly towards the peaks. Now, luckily, the purple acolytes were clever enough to put some food in your saddles so that you guys could. Could eat something on the way because you were really hungry. You had nothing to eat on the ground. You are used to eating in the sky, though, and flying together made you feel like a wing. Each of you have their own wing and have had their own adventures, but there you are together. You know, maybe by the design of Aslaug himself, in such a difficult journey, in such a difficult mission, but together nevertheless. And this sense of camaraderie is sneaking into you, and you kind of feel responsible for one another. Now, with these feelings, you arrive over the peaks of Claw. The early morning is just rising. Now you flew through most of the night, through all through the night, and now the sun is slowly raising, and you can see morning mists just swirling in between the peaks. They look like immense serpent coiling under the peaks and moving with gusts of air. The raising temperature is slowly moving is slowly making it disappear, but it is going to take about an hour or two before it completely dissipates. So right now you only see well the peaks, the very peaks. You cannot see the areas below yet because of the time of day. What would you like to do?
I think I like. Okay, go on. You were.
I thought that I will circle the area and survey the grounds to find the battlegrounds.
Sure. So let's test your perceptivity. That would be 4d6 plus 1d8. Shall I roll?
Yes, of course.
Sure. That will be 1, 6, and 1, 1. So with 1, 6, you have no idea where the battle took place. It is a very large area, and the early morning and the mist doesn't help.
You also rolled the dragon
Yes.
dice?
The dragon dice rolled a 1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Caducia, Violet?
Well, as for me, I wanted to get sort of preparation for what I want to do at the battlefield. I want to get a reminiscence of what happened there, and I want to get ready and also connect with Ventia. Like, what does she really need to use this power while we get there? So I think of it and I get ready.
Sure. Well, Ventia tells you that she needs to touch something that you guys that you want her to have a vision of. So it can be something that somebody touched that you want to have a vision about, or things like that. So if you find a place, perhaps you can get a vision of what the battle was like.
Sure. So I will focus on that later to find the spot that can give me the hint.
Sure. So let me test perceptivity of everybody else, because obviously you guys are very much interested about what's going on. So that would be no success from Caducia and Violet. One more die. That's a 6 from you. So none of you can figure this out, where it took place. Now, but what you did see is you saw that there are actually hills which are cultivated in a way close by, and you can actually see some people there with sheep, and it's a pretty far away, but there is like this one particular thing you noticed. Now, also from this height, you can see the coastline. You can see actually the castle Blarn in the distance. Vesida is not very. You can't see Vesida very well, but it's there in the horizon. So we can see the area. The part of sea coast that you see from here, you can see that there's quite a lot of traffic. There are many ships going from Dunloop to Ordendale. There's this particular pass that needs to be circled here. So there's movement of people in this section, in this part. Now, after about an hour or two, the visibility is going to improve greatly, and you can try again. So you can wait for that. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I think so.
All right. So after about 2 hours, the visibility improved so much that even without rolls, you were finally able to figure out where the battle took place. And the reason you were able to figure it out is because that there's a particular valley where you see the remains of dragons that were slain. Unfortunately, some of them are still there. You can see people around there. You can see purple and gray monks that have actually set up a little bit of a settlement of tents around them, and so that the dragon carcasses are well, taken care of, and this is a place where you can see the dead bodies. And on closer inspection, you can see that some of them probably fell down from one of the peaks that kind of looks like a head of someone lying down, kind of like this. And there's even a little bit of kind of this rusted dragon blood that you might possibly see on this very peak there. You're not sure if it was one or more dragons that spilled his blood there, but definitely some of the dragons were there when they were in battle. So you guys see these two places as reference, either this settlement and the dragon carcasses in the valley, or this place with blood, the spill where the blood was spilled on top of this mountain. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
I would like to investigate this blood at first. Do I have the possibility to check if this was maybe Tallahassee's dragon's blood? If she was also injured?
Well, let me describe the area when you land. So as you land there, you see that it's very difficult to perch for the dragon. It's very difficult for it to grab hold and hold itself. You as a human have it a little bit more easily. You find it a little bit more easier. So you get off the dragon and you start walking in the peak. The dragon actually sends a telepathic message to you, asking you if it's okay for it to fly away, because it's afraid it might fall down from this top. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
So she flies away. I mean, she circles over your head, obviously, and there you see several places where kind of blood was spilled, and you're definitely sure it was dragon blood. You have seen it before, and it's difficult to say if it was one dragon or more. Every dragon blood looks pretty much the same from your experience, anyway. Let me test your perceptivity as well. Let's see if you get a little bit more of this general perception. And you do get an 8 on the... no, the dragon is not with you. So unfortunately, no. You don't get to see anything else, but you're there. Okay, what do you guys want to do?
So I definitely want to take a closer look at the remains, and this is also something that can bring me closer to this vision, because this is something that actually was there in the past. So, so my next move, when it comes to that, I would like to take a look at the remains, as heartbreaking as it is, but yes, it can give me a closer look.
Sure. So as you land there, you see that this, every priest and acolyte in the area got there to witness your arrival. They don't approach. They give you space to whatever you want to do, and you see a particular purple priest with markings that suggest that he's the main honcho around here. So you can approach him if you want to, or you can go straight for the carcasses. When you look at the dragon remains, you see that all of their crystals, the crystal hearts, have had already been removed. So what remains is only the body itself. You feel that Ventia is quite moved by this. She's very anxious, and she gets a little bit angry. You can see her leg swishes, kind of like a cat's tail. Her tail swishes here and there with the poison sac ready to instill. So you and your dragon, you get closer to one of the dead bodies, and you can see Ventia immediately climbs on top of it. She puts her claws deep into the remains of a beautiful, of what once was probably a beautiful silver dragon, and she sniffs it.
Steady now. I know that it's difficult for you, but this might help. Please show me what you see.
All right, let's take a look. This is your bond. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. Your bond pool is 8d6. Why is your bond pool 8d6? Okay, let's test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And that is 3 success, which gives you a very particular insight into what happened. Now you can see this dragon soaring in the sky with the mission to meet Telesi, and you can see him surrounded by his wing, his friends and family, together to stop the blasphemer. Then you get another glimpse of when you are suspended in the air, and the whoosh of the whoosh of the wings is making it almost impossible to hear the words that humans are yelling at each other. And you can see Emberheart, this huge dragon, like we're talking like largest of the large. They're so large that his rider is actually sitting on its neck rather than on its back. And his wings are just hurricanes when it flaps in front of you. And then you hear the words artifact, and you see your rider, your beautiful, wonderful rider that you love so much, point towards a collar on the neck of Emberheart, a collar made of diamonds. Huge, beautiful, beautiful object that radiates magic. And you realize that this is the reason why he needs to be stopped. Why Emberheart and Talisi must be stopped. That this color is the reason why they are that your wing decided to stop them before they do something terrible. And then you see yourself falling from the sky, after having been ripped, after having part of your chest ripped by claws of Emberheart. And then there's darkness. And when Ventia reaches that point, she spits fire into the sky, and we must fly. Get on my back.
I catch my breath. This was an overwhelming vision, and probably whoever was near me could see that something big is going on. And I try to climb on Ventia's back because I agree we must fly. And my hand,
like
my
as
other
soon
hand,
as you were able to grab on, she launches into the air just so fast.
I'm following on the back of the Shield Maiden.
Yeah, when I noticed this, I also call Aurora, and we are following them.
Mm-hmm. So you see Ventia just kind of like taking a long circle around the place where the battle took place, and you Violet feel that she as like a hound, like a dog that caught a scent of its prey, is just going. Is just trying to catch these elements, these tiny morsels of ether, of magical energy, of this color, the color, like that. You can actually feel how her crystalline heart is becoming enlarged. It's becoming a source of pain for your dragon when she launches towards Veseda. Suddenly, you feel that Ventia is catching a scent of this magical object, and she feels that it can be found back in the capital city. Now, she's really angry, and she's in this very animalistic state right now. She doesn't exchange, conversations with you. Generally, dragons don't do that. They're alien. They're not like humans. And now the frame of mind she's in, she's very much like a predator. She wants to go back to Veseda to find these crystals. Now you might want to stop her. It would require you to roll for bond, or you can follow it on. Caducia and Hezeron are right now flanking you, so you guys can talk as well.
Okay, I think that I might want to stop her, but on second thoughts, this is the closest we get now. So let's follow. I want to follow her. I'm not going to stop her, even though I feel maybe I should, but I'm not going to do it.
All right, Caducia, Hazeron, what do you guys want
If
to do?
they're going, I'm going also.
Sure. Would you like to exchange information with Violet on what's going on? Like, you know
Yes.
of the power of her dragon, but you know.
Yes. What are we looking for, Violet? What did she catch on?
Amber Heart and I just probably we are going pretty fast. So my words are just on the wings of wind, and you can hear me talking that Amber Heart had a collar made of diamonds, and that's what we are looking for. That's why it happened.
Now, Caducia, when you heard that, you instinctively reached under your shirt.
And also me, because actually I have something on around my neck. It's not a collar.
Sorry. I meant Violet. I meant Violet.
That's what I meant before, that when Ventia gives me this vision of this collar, my other hand, by instinct, it goes to my neck and I touch my necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it might have nothing to do with the collar, but it's just this moment when I touch my neck.
That's right. So Caducia, Hazeron are following you, and it's taken another few hours for you to get back to Veseda. On the way, you actually dozed off a little bit. You were able to sleep. You're used to it by now. Sleeping in the air is one of the skills that dragon riders learn in the first years. Otherwise, their life gets really difficult, or they don't take on strong, important missions really. And when you reach Veseda again, it's the sun is setting, and you can see Ventia going in a very, very large circle, and then as she goes down close to water, close to the area where the sea enters and touches the city, and eventually she lands on water. She's able to float, and she raises this huge wave around her. Aurora and Shield Maiden are taking circles around her, but eventually they also land. So now we've got 3 floating dragons at the outset of the port in Veseda. Ventia says, I feel it's here. It's somewhere here. I can smell this magic. But I don't know where it is.
But it's somewhere around. We must be close.
I lost it. What do you guys want to do?
Maybe ask Lynx about the necklace. Maybe he knows something. If it is hidden in the capital, then maybe he knows something about it.
You can definitely go back to the tower and find out.
Yeah, I don't think we have skills to find it on our own right now.
I have insight. Maybe I could roll to get
Absolutely.
some deduction, and we have like huge team pool.
Exactly. You've got a pool level of 6 right now, so you can spend it now. So inside in Hazeron's insight is 6d6 plus 1d8. And insight is about looking around and trying to figure out elements that kind of work together. And deduction, your deduction is and your deduction is 5d6 plus 4d8 because your deduction is also part of strategy and things like that. So you can definitely use that to your advantage here.
So I'm going for deduction to connect the dots to find a way which won't be back to where we started.
Sure. So based on this roll, I can give you a very clear hint about what might be what kind of things might be connected here. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus
Give us
1,
plot.
2. I'm running out of dice. All right, I'm gonna have to re-roll. So, how many dice from the pool would you like to use?
3.
3. Okay. All right. Ooh, that's an 8. That's another 8. And that's a 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 success. All right. Well, with such a roll, you have suddenly this moment of clarity where you see elements, coming coming together. It's kind of like Sherlock. Just as like elements just appear, and you connect them into one tapestry where you see the central figure being Vess, the original dragon rider. And Vess was actually, according to the stories, one of the people who lived underground in a safe place, in one of those safe places where all humans hid during the time of night. And this is where he built his temple. This is where he built when Aslaug chose him and he finally slew a chimera and started his empire. This is where he built the beginning of his civilization, the beginning of his empire. But nobody actually but you have no idea what happened to this underground dwelling that these people lived in. Nobody lives there anymore, and it, based on the stories, you know, they were this huge kind of like shelters where they were pretty much underground cities for hundreds and thousands of people. And just general wisdom is that it happened 300 something years ago, so obviously all of that stuff caved in, and Veseda was built over it. But now that you're here and you see that your dragon was drawn, Ventia was drawn here, you look around and you see a huge entrance to underground corridors that are used to kind of move the water from under the city into the bay. And you see a large large entrance that recently was damaged. That over the last weeks, like something broke off this huge gateway into one of those underground corridors. So when you finished adding all of this up, you were like, there. All right, guys, what do you want to do?
I shout to other riders that I think I got it.
You seem pretty sure. Lead the way.
And as I said it, I dive with the dragon. Like, I think I've got it, and
I'm
don't
surprised.
wait for answer.
It is not what I expected. I thought that maybe there will be more planning and considering all the pros and cons, but it seems like we're just going with the flow. So yes, I'm following. Even
I will stop at the entrance. It's not like I'm flying straight into it, but I've got a plan, which is attack.
So these corridors that are used to divert water from under the city into the bay area, they're large enough for your dragons to squeeze in. Shield Maiden is the largest of your dragons, of the three dragons, and she has the greatest problems. There's like her wings are always kind of in the way, but she manages to go through. And Ventia leads the way, and as soon as you guys started walking through these corridors, she felt, I feel this stench of magic. Follow me. And she goes, as fast as she can in this space, towards deeper parts of the of the structure that doesn't seem to be regularly used or maintained. And finally, you find yourself in a place where a huge boulder recently seemed to have been moved. And under the boulder, you see an entrance, a beautiful brass door that was carved by people hundreds or maybe thousands of years ago. This kind of metal work that was used on it seems pre Night Era. It seems that perhaps it was perhaps even magic was used in creating it, because it's just so beautiful and at the same time sturdy and also withstood test of time so well. And you see that it also was recently opened and not closed, as if someone was waiting inside. Now, as you get close to the entrance to the underground city under Vasida, where perhaps the most powerful dragon rider alive and also the most deadly blasphemer ever alive perhaps might be waiting, we must cut and say, who knows what might happen next? We might know. We'll see.